We're going to talk specifically about rectangles today. If you'll remember, just a review, when we were finding the perimeter of any polygon, we simply had to add the sides together. This side plus this side plus this side plus this side. Because when you're finding the perimeter, you're simply finding the distance around the polygon. And so we had a lesson several days ago on perimeter, and it's easy as adding the outsides together. Now today, what we're going to be talking about is any rectangle, but we're going to be finding this part. For instance, grass. How much grass is going to fill this backyard? Or how much carpet you need to buy to carpet this room. Those type of things. We're going to be finding the area. Now, finding the area of a rectangle is pretty easy. There's a formula, and it's on your formula chart, and it simply says to find the area, you're going to multiply the length times the width. The length being one side and the width being the adjacent side. So this is another length and this is another width. But if you notice, to find the area, we're not adding those or multiplying all four of those. We're just multiplying the length times the width measurement, and that will be the area. Okay? So now I want to talk about units before I go on to the challenges in this lesson. We just started. You're fine. Do you have the rectangles packet? You did good. You need a calculator also. Okay. Okay, I want to talk about units now. Whenever we're talking about inches or feet or yards or miles, whatever unit we're talking about, we need to talk about them correctly. On perimeter, remember we just went around, and these are simply measured in units. Okay, perimeter is one dimensional. It's one dimensional. So you would say feet, 18 feet, 24 miles, 213 inches. They're always going to have this invisible exponent of 1 on its units. Now, area is going to be two-dimensional. And so when we express an answer of anything that says area, we're going to also have surface area. So anything that has area, then our units are going to be squared, two-dimensional. When we're finding area, it's two-dimensional, so its units will be squared. We will say 20 feet squared. You will also see it written square feet. These mean the same thing. If it's written square feet or feet squared, inches squared, and so on and so on. You'll have a squared on your answer, not on the number. Some people get messed up and say this, 8 squared feet. Well, that's actually 64 feet. We don't put it there. If your answer is 8, it's 8 feet squared. Are we good?
Yeah.
Okay, units. So be careful about those units. Now, let's do a couple of beginning problems right here off your worksheet. The first one says it has a rectangle And up at the top, it says 24 inches and 33 inches. And it asks you what the area is, the area of this rectangle. And it is simple as multiplying the length times the width. So the area will be equal to 33 times 24. The area of this, and again, we're talking about the inside, not the distance around. We want how much this covers. Right here, and I have 792. We're talking about inches, so we're going to use inches, and its area, so we have to have square inches. Are y'all okay? Did everybody get that? Calculator up here. Okay. Did y'all get 792? Not a problem. Okay, so as simple as that is, we need to be very careful to look at the information that they give us. I'm going to move quickly. I think it's page 3 in this packet. This is the packet that I'm in right now. Area of rectangle. Josh, I think you should have gotten that in your email.
I did.
Okay. Yes, page 2. Page 2. Now you notice at the top corner, I wrote the word conversion. You won't have that on yours, Josh. I just did it on the ones that were copied here. So if you'll find this page that up at the top, it says T2, S1, and
Okay.
it's the area of a rectangle. In this case, let's look at this first one, okay? Find the area of each rectangle for the given measurements. Okay, now this time they don't draw for you, but you know what a rectangle looks like, and you don't have to be an artist. Let's draw a rectangle, and on one of the sides, you're going to put 156 inches. And on the adjacent side, that means the one right next to it, not across, it says 9 feet. All right. Now, the first inclination you would have is to multiply the 9 times the 156, and then you'd find out that that's not the correct answer. The reason for that is that these are different units. So they have to be the same units before you can find the area. Now, do we change inches to feet, or do we change feet to inches? Normally, that's your choice. But on the worksheet, it actually has an answer sheet, answer blank that says feet squared. So they're telling you that they want all the measurements to be in feet. So to keep yourself from getting confused, I circled the one that I'm going to change. I have to change these inches into feet. Now, the easiest way to do this, I gave you a conversion chart because I'm finding out that some people don't know the conversions. So that's this sheet. Understand you're going to have to look it over because they don't let you have this on the GED test. Okay, but you go through all of these and you find the one that matches inches to feet. And that happens to be the top one. Y'all see? 12 inches, 1 foot. The easiest way to convert these inches is to take that measurement and make it a fraction. Okay, so I'm going to say 12 inches, and I'm going to put inches over here as a reminder to myself, equals 1 foot. Okay, we're going to start what we call a proportion, and I think we've done some of that in here already. What you're going to start the proportion with is something that you know. 12 inches and 1 feet go together. Inches, feet. Now, the second part of this proportion is what you don't know. So over here, this is what we're focused on. They're inches, so we're going to put them in the place that the inches are in. 156 inches, but we don't know how many feet that is. Y'all see the proportion? So the first part is what you know for a fact off this page. The second part, you match where you put the inches and where you put the feet. X is what you're trying to find. Are we good? Okay, it's a reminder on how to work a proportion. When you have one fraction equal to one fraction, then this is always true. If you multiply these two together, which would be 12x, it will always equal what you get when you multiply these two together. Cross multiply. So equals 156. This is how you work a proportion. This will always equal this multiplied. Now we simply have an equation that we need to solve for x. So I know I'm going to divide by 12, divide by 12. So x is going to be, is it 13? 13. Now, you get to the bottom of this and you've done some work and you, oh man, what was I doing? What was x? So you can go right back over here and you can say x is the number of feet that went with these inches. So I simply mark this out and I say equals 13 feet. Now the units are the same. Now you can easily find the area equals 13 times 9, 27, 112. Oh, yeah, 117, is that what you're saying? Yes. 117, and it's going to be feet squared. 117 feet squared. You see, it's very, very important, and they may do this on the GED test. They may give you something very simple to find the area of a rectangle, but you have to convert one of the units so they will be the same. I'm not going to leave you with just one example. We'll do another one, okay? Let's go. I think this is the only page that does this. We'll go feet to number 6. They give you a picture. Is everybody finished with this? So let's do one more. On number 6, they actually give you a picture. And they say 3 yards, 14 feet. So you can see that the units are different. And again, you can go either way. You can change either one of them that you want if it doesn't say in the answers. But in the answer, they want, again, feet squared. So that means I have to change this one to feet. Look on your conversion chart, and you're going to find the one that matches the yards to the feet. Did you find it? Yards to feet. It's the third one down. So it says 3 feet equals 1 yard. Okay? This is what I know for sure. It's written there and it's been that way for a long time. Then I look for the one that I need to change. I need to change this and it needs to go in the yards place. Here's the yards place. So the 3 has to go here. And so the feet that we're trying to find is X. Are we good? Okay, I see some faces. Ask some questions. Just getting there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, no, I'm not even gonna say that. We'll figure it out later. Okay. Since we have our proportion set up, a proportion is one fraction equal to one fraction. If you have that, then you know for a fact that if you multiply these two together, that will always equal what this is multiplied together. It will always be true. So x times 1 is 1x equals 3 times 3 is 9. And bingo, we didn't have to do anything on this one. Okay, so they're saying that 3 yards is going to be equal to 9 feet. Now you have common terms and you can multiply those. So I think it's 126, is that correct? Yeah. 126? 126 feet squared is the area. Length times width. Length times width. Are we good?
Yes, so far.
Okay, good. Thank you for that. Okay, and I want you to always be aware of the units. Okay, it's an easy thing to look at the numbers and multiply and say, that's the answer. So always check your units first. I will tell you in this packet, I think this is the only page that does the conversion, but I want you to know how to do that, okay? All right, and the other challenge that you will hit is toward the back of the packet, and these are called composite figures. Sometimes they're called L shapes, but not all of them are L shapes. Let's look at, it would be, yes, page 9. Here's where we are, Josh. We're on this page that says sheet 1, area of L shapes.
Okay.
All right. We'll look at number 1. Feet, 20 feet, 7 feet, and 25 feet. Now, the first thing you need to notice there is that all of the units are the same, so we don't have to convert anything. However, we don't have a formula for this, do we? Probably not. Okay, but we have a formula for area of rectangles, right? So let's just break it up. And we're going to find the area of this one. Then we'll find the area of this one and just add them together. But you need to be careful about one thing. Sometimes the measurements aren't what they appear to be. Okay? Let's look at this one by itself, this one. I need a length and a width. So if I look here, this is the length. And sure enough, this is the width, right? It's not 20 because 20 only goes to here. Everybody understand? So be careful where these numbers belong. But in this, I have found out that the full length is 30 and the width is 7. And so the area here is 210. Do y'all see? Because we took 30 times 7. Now this is where the trick comes in. Up here, to find this area, I need a length and a width. So 25 goes all the way to here. But I only want this much. I want from here to here because this is the rectangle I want. Do you guys understand what I'm looking at? So 25 is this whole thing, but I don't need this part. So what part am I taking away from that full thing?
7 foot.
I'm taking away 7 feet right here. So 25 minus 7, the length is going to be 18, isn't it? 25 minus 7.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's make sure that we know this. So we're going to have to do some investigating here. The whole way, all the way here, is 30 feet, isn't it? And this far is 20 feet. So what is this part that I need?
10.
This is
10 feet.
10 feet. Do y'all see? You can't just use the numbers that are showing up. You have to do some manipulating and subtracting, okay? So be careful of that. Now we have 25 times 10. So this area is 250.
No,
I'm going to add this and this. What'd you say, Josh?
no, the top part is took down to 18 feet.
Good for you, Josh. I tell you, there's not a day that I teach here that I don't make a mistake. We said this is 18, not 25, right? From here to here was 18. 25 was the whole thing, but I was using 25. Girl. So 18 times 10 is 180 instead. Do y'all see the mistake I made? Josh, you're going to have to stay here and help me find my mistakes. We're going to take all of this area and add it to this area, and we have 390 total feet, and we were finding area, so it's squared. Y'all see how that works? You just break your picture up into rectangles, be careful of the measurements, and then add the areas together. Yes?
Oh, yeah.
You feel okay with this? You guys feel okay to tackle? Okay, that's everything for today. We're going to do the same thing with triangles tomorrow. Finding area of triangles tomorrow.
No, that's fun.
So, and you'll get those in your email today, Josh.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for joining us. And I am so sorry for what you and your fiance have been going through.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Okay. We'll be thinking about both of you. Okay.
All righty.
All right. You know, we love you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.